Hello guys, and welcome to a brand new episode and possible series called Fixit Friday. So don't worry, this isn't replacing our Factory Friday, but is just a supplement. So last week Kinslayer approached me asking me to look over his factory, which you can see here, explaining that he spent a fair bit of time in game, almost 70 hours, and just wondering what I thought of it and if I had any tips that I could give him for building his factory. Now, looking over it, you can see how he's fallen very similarly into the same initial trap that I did, which is building everything far too close together without enough planning ahead. Now, this is very difficult to get right, especially on your first game, which, as I'm sure you're aware, as you add more and more new items, it tends to create a bit of trouble for organisation, and eventually it becomes a spaghetti mess. Thankfully, we're not that far yet, but with the coal running all the way through the base and everything being produced very close to one another, this will eventually become an issue. Also, another thing I've noticed is that a lot of his factory has been made through player manufacturing. Now, this may be ideal to start off with, but as the items get more and more complex, or you need more of the said items, it becomes very time consuming. So another key issue is automation here, which also means he'll need more foundations placed to help keep everything neat and organised. Now, that being said, he started to plan the factory over at the space elevator with foundations placed and a nice storage bus being set up. So with this in mind, I asked if he'd be happy for me to go over and fix various parts of his factory over the course of about 5 hours, which he very kindly agreed to, and hopefully when he receives the game file he'll be happy with the progress I've made. Now, the idea was that I just help organise and improve his base without pushing him further into the game, as I don't really want to spoil the game for him. So with that in mind, I got to work. First, we took a look at his steel factory and coal power plants. This was pretty much in the centre and needed to be moved to somewhere with a bit more space so that he could extend it as and when needed. So first off, we created a bus to transport the coal to the base more directly, saving on space, making it a little bit more organised. And whilst here, I also sent the extra limestone and iron ore onto the bus so that it can be transported to the factory. Now, I like this style of bus that I've created, as you can easily add more conveyors above it, which is going to be really easy for him to extend and upgrade as his factory grows more and more. Now, once we set up the bus, I added foundations for the factory along with several power plants, which I actually ended up extending further slightly later on. And I then split the coal to go towards the steel factory as well as the power plants. Now, here we created a bus style operation for easy extending, and I added some assemblers at the end to turn the beams which he's using currently to turn into encased industrial beams, as he's going to need them later on. Now, if I had a little more time available at this point, I would have added some more constructors and smelters just for steel beams and pipes, but being aware that I had only a certain amount of time available, I moved on to his iron production. Now, from here we added more foundations, once again for ease of organisation, and added a smelter bus and constructor bus for the creation of iron plates, rods and screws, so that we could eventually produce some reinforced plates automatically. Now, all of these items I decided to place in a small storage section, which he had first started working on underneath his foundations, which I quite like the idea of. Now, these storage units are just outside of his hub for easy collection of some building materials. Now, at this point I could see myself getting carried away and again decided to stop and work on a new area. So here I cleared all of the remaining factories that were in the centre and left 2 free remaining iron mines unconnected, although this would be a good place to create some rotors and eventually move on to motors with a little bit of planning thanks to the steel factory being close by. Now I then moved on to the copper section. Now all of the copper was being moved to the new storage area, but there was really no reason to hoard any kind of ingots. It's better just to start getting it produced, as there are no recipes that need specifically ingots. So I rebuilt the copper wire and cable factory, running at 100% efficiency for the items used, then directed the items to the storage. This factory should suffice until the late game, until you start making computers, so there's no need to do anything else here. Now at this point I cleared up the bus and also added the conveyor buses to allow any items Kinslayer wishes to be moved into the storage area via his factory, and then deleted any other unnecessary items. So there you are guys, I hope you enjoyed the Fixit episode. Now if you like the idea of running this series alongside Factory Friday, as and when I'm able to do these episodes, then do let me know in the comment section below, along with what you thought of my factory system. Also, if you enjoyed the videos, please be sure to hit that thumbs up, and if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe. And if you'd like me to do a Fixit Friday or Fan Friday video on your factory, be sure to send me a message on Discord. You can find the link below. Anyway, until next time, ciao for now.